From the Kiss 92.5 studios in Toronto, Canada.
Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen,
this is Roz and Mocha.
it's Roz and Mocha. What's going on?
Hey guys, this is Bruno Mars.
This is Selena Gomez.
The Chainsmokers.
Lady Gaga.
Calvin Harris.
Celestia Cara.
This is Ed Sheeran.
You're listening to my boys Roz and Mocha.
Roz and Mocha.
My boys Roz and Mocha.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Between Roz and Mocha, who is your favorite?
Mocha. Roz and Mocha. You guys are so funny, man.
Congratulations, Lisa! Wow!
You just won $1,000.
That's amazing. Y'all just made my entire morning. Keep it up.
You guys are awesome, man. This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Look at the time, man. It's that time.
Yeah, look at the time. In podcast world. What a great morning.
Stop.
What a great afternoon.
Just
what a
stop.
great evening.
Dude, okay, never mind.
What a great overnight.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. Hey, Mocha. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's do the news!
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
News break.
Bam. Connor McDavid, Captain Canada, McJesus, the hero, 8 minutes and 18 seconds into OT last night. He did this.
Carter sends it around. Martin waiting. Connor McDavid scores! Connor McDavid for Canada!
And
That's right.
if you're a Leafs fan, it was a really torturous moment because, it was Mitch Marner that fed McDavid the puck, but it was also Austin Matthews who left Connor McDavid alone, his man, in front of the net. So, like, if you're a Leafs fan, that was like, oh, I don't know how to feel right now.
I know. Yay, but what the hell?
Yeah,
And
but
man, people were going in on Austin Matthews last night. Oh, my God. Don't look at your mentions, dude. After the game, here is McJesus.
Yeah, obviously it means a lot to our group. I think a lot of people were wondering if, what this tournament would mean to guys, and obviously you can see what it means to everyone on our side. It was, really exciting.
Austin Matthews.
I mean, I'm super proud of this group. I thought, we battled our hearts out the whole tournament tonight. We had the opportunities to attend it. Didn't happen, but I couldn't be prouder of this group. I thought the whole tournament, everybody gave 100%.
What did it mean to go through this experience and share it with the guys in this room?
No, it meant a lot. I mean, it's an honor to wear this jersey and represent our country. Obviously, a lot of familiar faces, guys that have played with each other in the past. So it's definitely a special honor, something that we definitely don't take for granted.
What's the matter with you, Shell?
Can you tell who won between the two? You can't
I know.
tell
I
which
know.
one of those guys won.
I know.
That's just hockey players.
Connor McDavid
Yeah.
is just,
I know.
he's
He
so
Obviously it means a
low
lot to our
energy.
group. I think a lot of people were wondering if, what this tournament would mean to guys. And
Yeah, I know.
He's won the game-winning goal.
I know.
And they call you McJesus.
He's
Christ of Nazareth!
always like that.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Kanye went on a tweet storm last night again.
Oh, what?
One of the things that he did say.
Wait, I thought he quit.
No,
or he
he's
got kicked
back.
off.
Nah, he's back, but they put a warning on it. One of the things he said is that he's going to perform at next year's Super Bowl wearing this white swastika shirt that he was selling online.
Oh, my gosh. What?
I mean, that's not going to happen, but that was one of the things that he said. But
Said he's going to or he wants to?
Well, he said he's going to, but
you're not going to.
It's not going to happen. I guess there's a betting website out of the UK that is already putting odds down on who will actually perform at next year's Super Bowl.
Okay.
Right now, leading with 16.7% is a tie between Miley Cyrus and Chappell Roan. That's not going to happen.
No, that won't.
Nobody knew who Chappell Roan was until like September. Most people. I mean, she had her like hardcore fans. Miley Cyrus, I mean, I think she would have to like pad it out with some serious cameos.
100%. Yeah,
right?
Totally.
I don't think it would necessarily be bad. She's got a lot of songs.
She's a great performer.
Great performer. She's a great singer, but she would have to pad it out, right? Like,
Yeah, you're talking like Dolly Parton.
Dolly
would have
Parton,
to show,
like all of that stuff.
If her and her dad reconcile at
There's
that point.
nobody wants to see Billy Ray up there.
Come on, man.
Nobody wants to see Billy Ray up there.
Who else would
Nobody.
do a great, who's
Nobody.
like a universal name, whether it's an individual artist or group, that would appeal to everyone?
Somebody had said Christina Aguilera.
Yes.
Oh, she'd be great. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I think she's too. I don't know.
Yeah, but Lady Gaga did it. Christina Aguilera could do it.
Lady Gaga was at her peak when she did it, though. Like, Lady Gaga was the biggest artist in the world.
Christina got
when she
hits,
did
though,
it.
man.
But yeah, and Christina can like put it on whenever.
But I don't think Christina. I don't think she could do it alone. I think she needs to pat it out. Oasis is on the list. I think maybe because they're touring and all that stuff, and finally back together and everything. But I don't know.
What about Bon Jovi? Have they ever done it?
No, I don't. But again, I don't think they. I don't think they're Bon Jovi anymore, right? Like they're a super nostalgia act right now.
Oh,
what about
the Jonas? Did they change their names?
No. Like, but there's just like it's just John Bon Jovi,
They
and
did
I
it
think
in 2002.
I think one other guy.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Who'd you say, Maria? Jonas?
The Jonas Brothers.
No.
I would enjoy it.
No.
No one else probably would, but I mean.
I don't. You know what? I don't think right now. I don't think.
But they're like at their peak, and no one would like.
Like,
it.
as far as like big giant bands who do stadium shows that could maybe do it, like Coldplay.
They did it already.
You know what I mean?
They
like,
did it already.
They did it?
Yeah, that was the year that Bruno Mars and Beyonce did it. People forget that Coldplay was the
That's
headliner.
right. That's right. Yeah, but like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like, I mean, you have to go to the country. Yeah, they have to do a country halftime show.
Morgan Wallen.
Morgan Wallen. They have
I
to
thought
load
this
it up.
Year
They have to load it up.
Should have been the year where you put Morgan Wallen,
Riley
Jelly
Green.
Roll, Post Malone, Lainey Wilson, Carrie Underwood. Like, you load it up with all the big names. That would have been a fire show.
Yeah, but I also think Post Malone would be a really good one because Post Malone could get up there and do a country song, a rap song, and cover a Nirvana track.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, he would appeal to literally everyone.
Yeah.
Right? He'd be like, he could do it. Like, as far as like the names who are sort of big enough, but like could have mass appeal, Post Malone's up there, I would say, for sure.
Guys, could you imagine next year? Drake.
I think Drake could do it. Drake's got the
he
hits.
could, but how funny would that be?
No,
like
I
back
think
to back years?
Drake would kill it.
He would
Yeah,
kill it.
I don't know if
Yeah.
he would. If he would go and do it though.
Especially for no money, right? Because they don't get paid to do that.
Yeah.
You don't?
No.
Guys,
There's no money. $0.
Man, I know we're like. Hold on.
Yeah,
Let me tell you this
what?
story real quick.
Okay.
So I'm on customer service yesterday, right?
With
just a company.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And this lady, she's being real nice, and she's from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Right? And we're having she's really helping me out with this issue I'm having with this company.
Yeah.
Right? She was on my side, so she says. Anyway, I was like, yo, where are you from? She goes, I'm from Pittsburgh. I said, okay, let me ask you a question, because I only hear from people in like LA and New York about this.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, did you follow the Drake and Kendrick beat? Right?
Oh my, no, you didn't.
Because I was like, I'm across the border, as you know, right? So I need to know what you think. And she's like, yeah, I didn't really care for it. And I said, do you still listen to Drake music? She's like, oh yeah, I'm still a Drake fan.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to his older stuff. I don't like any of the newer stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what about Kendrick though? She's like, honestly, I watched that halftime performance and it was boring. I didn't know any of the songs except for Not Like Us.
So this
customer service.
Okay, so there you go. It's settled, right? It's settled.
Yeah, it's settled. Nobody likes you,
no,
Kendrick.
No, it's settled now.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Oh my God. Did you see this woman, this Canadian woman who lost both her hands from a shark attack in Turks and Caicos?
Sorry?
What?
So the family of a tourist who was seriously injured when she was bitten while trying to, quote, engage with a shark in Turks and Caicos is now speaking out about the horrifying incident. The woman is 55. Her name is still under wraps. Attempted to, quote, engage with the animal from the shallows in an attempt to take a photograph. Her brother-in-law said they were only in hip-deep water when a 7-foot bull shark came at her and bumped her leg. The shark then circled around and bit her thigh. Not satisfied, he said. The shark then came back, and when she put both her hands out to protect herself, the shark cut off both her hands, one in the mid-forearm and one at the wrist.
Yeah, no, you're not supposed to take selfies with sharks. Leave them alone.
I don't know.
Get away
not
from
run
there.
out of the water the minute you
get
see
out of
it?
there as quick as you can. Thank you.
There's an Instagram account that I follow where it's I think it's called Tourists in Yosemite.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all people in like national parks.
Yeah.
These tourists that get off a bus and literally there's like a buffalo standing there and these people walk right up to it with their phone.
What?
Thinking that they can just snap a
Thinking
picture.
that they're fine, that everything is docile, and that nature is not violent,
And nature's not going to react. Like,
it's crazy.
you see all these people coming at you?
It's crazy.
You think that animal's not going to like try to defend itself?
Bro, it's nuts. Like in Yellowstone, there's so many videos of people in Yellowstone National Park where they just like these tourists walking around and they're chasing a bison in between trees to try and get a better picture. And then like it hits a car.
Yeah.
Right? And like they could flip a car without even thinking about it.
And they're like, I wonder why that happened.
Yes. Yeah, it's crazy.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
James Bond. I don't know. You're not a huge James Bond fan. I'm not a huge James Bond fan.
James Bond.
But the franchise for more than 60 years.
I like my martini. What is it? My martini stirred, not shaken.
No, other way around.
Shaken, not stirred. Like my. Did he say like my women or something?
Yes, of course he does.
Like my women.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes.
Is that that's
say it.
James
Now say the whole thing.
Bond, James Bond.
Yes.
I like my women like my martinis shaken, not stirred.
Right. Yes, that's the line. You nailed it. You nailed it. Yeah. The weird thing about James Bond is for like the past 60 years, that entire franchise and its creative direction has been in the hands of one family, the Broccolis. And they determine...
The Broccoli's?
Yeah, the Broccoli's. And they determine everything about James Bond. But yesterday, Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson entered into a huge joint venture with Amazon and Prime that will see them give over control to basically Jeff Bezos.
What?
So the last movie was in 2021, No Time to Die. That was Daniel Craig's last James Bond. And as it is right now, there's no word on any follow-up. There's no director, no story, no script, and more importantly, no Bond. But the problem was that 4 years ago, Amazon spent $8.5 billion on MGM, and MGM owns a big part of the Bond franchise.
Okay.
They don't have any creative control, but they own a piece of it. And Amazon paid all this money for it, and they're like, we're not getting any Bond content. So they went into this new deal where they now take control over all of the James Bond content, the scripting, the casting, everything else is now in the hands of Amazon. And so Jeff Bezos tweeted out yesterday who should be the next James Bond. And a lot of people were saying Charlie McAvoy. A lot of people were saying Tom Cruise. But the one name, because he's got insane fans on social media, was Henry Cavill.
Oh, yeah, okay. I can see that.
Right?
Yeah.
And Henry Cavill was actually in the running when they cast Daniel Craig.
Oh.
And the only reason he didn't get it was because he was too young at the time.
Oh.
So they went with Daniel Craig. But now Henry Cavill is sort of at like the perfect James Bond age, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't know.
I've never seen any of those movies.
Like James Bond sort of exists. I've never met anyone whose favorite movie is a James Bond movie.
Yeah.
Right? They just sort of exist. I've watched them my mom used to,
get turned on.
Yeah, by Sean Connery.
Bond, James Bond.
Yeah.
I like my women, like my martinis, shaken, not stirred.
Just like my
mother.
No, women.
Wait, what?
Whoa.
What? Sorry. I thought we were talking about your mom.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I saw this on Friday. One of Diddy's lawyers quit on him. Tony Rico issued a statement, and it's a strong statement.
Okay.
So he says, although I have provided Sean Combs with a high level of legal representation expected by the court, under no circumstances can I continue to effectively serve as counsel for Sean Combs, consistent with the American Bar Association standards for criminal justice. Now, he still has like 4 other lawyers, right?
Well, what do you think this guy...
It's either, who knows?
now?
It's either a money thing, could be, right? But I don't think that that's what it would be. It could be that maybe he has seen everything from discovery and knows what he's going to have to defend. But I mean, lawyers defend sleazebags all the time. It could also be personal in the sense that what could possibly blow back against him. And one of the things that I was reading is that I believe that Tony Rico, who is his lawyer, was Diddy's only black lawyer.
Oh.
And I think that one of the theories is that he doesn't want to be the guy the only guy up there trying to maybe make this about race, that Diddy is somehow wronged because, and then thinking of his own career afterwards, based on the evidence that that is not a position that he wants to put himself in, which to me would seem smart. But he's still got a ton of lawyers, and as far as I know, the trial's still going ahead in May. Like, that's coming up quick.
I know,
like quick.
Now, is this going to be one of those? I can't remember if we talked about this or not. Is one of those trials where things are like closed off, where the public will not know, and like cameras won't be allowed in there?
No, it's New York. It won't be filmed. It won't be like the Johnny Depp trial.
Like, what's
you'll hear
happening?
everything. Yeah.
Evidence.
You should. I mean, I can't see them. I can't see them putting a
Like what was
publication ban on it.
discussed, witnesses,
You should.
testimony.
I would think so, right? I would think so. I mean, Donald Trump just went through all that stuff, and like that courtroom was just rammed with reporters, unless they put some sort of gag order on it.
Not on this.
Because of the names involved, or
minors.
Who knows, right? Like I don't know.
Minors
I don't know,
involved.
but
Oh my gosh.
but that's coming up quick. May.
Crazy.
Can't wait.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
SAG Awards last night. It's interesting because Kristen Bell hosted the awards show, and oftentimes when somebody hosts an awards show, they open with like a big song, which is generally a parody song of like a more famous song, right?
Yeah.
So the theme with this one was they were showing pictures and all this stuff of like famous actors in their very first roles, and she was referencing very first roles, right? But it's Kristen Bell doing the song. It's a parody song to "Do You Want to Build a Snowman?" And what makes this interesting is that it's Kristen Bell parodying her own song, because Kristen Bell is the one who sings "Do You Want to Build a Snowman?" So it sounds weird.
Do you want to be an actor?
Oh, yeah,
Or
that
just
sounds
get your
off.
foot inside the door.
That sounds off.
Can you scream a lot on Halloween, or be a beauty queen, or hug a purple dinosaur?
No, but you are that character.
You are her.
Or your breakout.
And you
as
sound
unnamed
amazing.
babe,
Yeah.
Or patient in ICU. Do you want to be an actor? Here's a young aspiring actor paging you. Do you want to be an actor?
Like, she sounds great, right?
Amazing.
But I'm just not used to hearing the parody song at an awards show by the person who actually sang the song.
It sounds off.
Good.
Yeah. She's great, though.
Yeah, she
I
is.
love her.
Drama with a range of art.
Yeah.
Getting kidnapped or put
Did what's her name show up to sing with her?
No.
Adele Nazim?
No. It would have been great if she did, though.
Travolta's best friend?
Also from the SAG Awards last night, Only Murders in the Building picking up the award for Best Ensemble in a Comedy.
Wait, we never win. This is so weird. Okay, well, Marty and Steve aren't here because, they don't really care. But I'm just, I don't know what to say.
Remember
you
to
guys
thank
so
Marty
much.
and Steve.
Oh, and thank you to Marty and Steve for helping raise me. But I genuinely am just so grateful. Everybody, the writers, everyone deserves this. And I take it home for all of us. And I'm bringing this back to New York for season 5. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Thank you, SAG-AFTRA. Thank you to everybody. I love you.
I love seeing Selena Gomez with all these wins.
But Martin Short wasn't there because he got COVID at the SNL 50 anniversary.
Did he?
Yo, you gotta be careful with somebody like him. Catch a COVID at that age.
That was like everybody famous in the world was in that room.
I
He's
know.
the one that got COVID.
I don't think he's the only one who got COVID.
He's the only one that went public with it.
Exactly.
A super spreader event right
If
there.
you gave Martin Short COVID, would you ever tell anyone?
Hell no.
No, thank you.
Especially
Thank
if that
you.
man ends up at ICU. Nah, bro.
Bro, if I gave Chevy Chase COVID, I'd never shut up about it, though.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Do I have time to do the Wiggles real quick?
Yeah.
So the Wiggles, they got their country album coming out called Wiggle Up, Giddy Up.
Yeah, I love it.
And they got 2 sort of Dolly Parton songs here. So one is called Friends, and it's just all about the glorious time of making friends. And Dolly Parton is actually featured on this song.
Friends, everybody shout it. Friends, no doubt about it. Friends, make the world go round. Friends, we can depend on friends.
I love
Someone
this.
to lean on, friends. Everybody needs one. Be my friend.
And then they did a sort of cover of Dolly's classic 9 to 5. This is 1 to 5.
Counting 1, 2, 5. There's nothing better when you get it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, it's only the beginning. You just use your mind. You don't never need to sweat it when you're counting. There really is no limit.
There you go.
Big up to the Wiggles.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Let's go back to the SAG Awards from last night. Jamie Lee Curtis breaking some news while announcing the Best Male Actor in a Limited Series award. Number 7, please, Mocha. Number 7.
Do I have that here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I do.
And the actor goes to the man who gave me COVID at the Golden Globes, Colin Farrell.
Oh,
Guilty as charged. But Brendan Gleeson f***ing gave it to me, so...
Oh, no!
I was just spreading the love.
Yo, they're just snitching on everybody now.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, John, let's go. It's so weird. It is weird. So many of you I grew up watching on television and film. Hey, John, let's go. And so many I've worked with over the years and shared in the spirit of collaborative curiosity and all the stuff that we fail at doing and we succeed at doing, and none of it is ever quantifiable, and that's the beautiful thing and the annoying thing about what we do. It's just unquantifiable. It's playtime. You don't get to fully grow up. You get to kind of keep the dream of a child alive through trying to figure out what it is to be human, and it's so much fun.
That was for The Penguin, by the way.
I still got to get into that
work
show.
in The Penguin. I bailed.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. My brother loved it.
So all the guys at the barbershop that I go to, they rave about this show. Because they're like, if you watched and liked Sopranos, you're going to love The Penguin.
I guess.
And I love The Sopranos.
Episode 1 of The Penguin was so good.
Okay.
Like, so
That's next
good.
on my list.
But then it goes, I don't know, it just wasn't for me. And not everything is supposed to be for me. I had this conversation last night because my kid, for some weird reason, man, she hated Dune like she's never hated anything before.
Oh, those movies don't interest me.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, it's not for you, you know. Like,
Who is
it's
it
like,
for?
Well, it's for super nerds like my brother, where they love slow. They love the pacing. They love how authentic it is. They love the world that was created. Where I'm like, I don't care what they're doing with spice and trying to harvest it.
Spice?
That's what they got to do, right? That's the
spices that you cook with.
It's called spice. I don't know what it
drugs?
does. No, I think it like helps them live or something like that. They harvest it. It's like sand, maybe. I'm not 100% sure.
Living on sand?
Yeah, it's called
But that's-
Dune, Mocha.
I know, but like, oh, okay. Oh, yeah, right.
That part shouldn't be a surprise.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
I thought it was like a planet. Planet Dune.
Timothée Chalamet winning Best Actor for his leading role in A Complete Unknown.
I know the classiest thing would be to downplay the effort that went into this role and how much this means to me, but the truth is this was 5.5 years of my life. I poured everything I had into playing this incomparable artist, Mr. Bob Dylan, a true American hero, and it was the honor of a lifetime playing him. It's an honor I share with Monica, Elle, Edward, the entire cast, who in a genre doing a biopic that could be perhaps tired. Everyone gave it their all. So I'm deeply grateful to them. And lastly, I can't downplay the significance of this award because it means the most to me. And I know we're in a subjective business, but the truth is I'm really in pursuit of greatness. I know people don't usually talk like that, but I want to be one of the greats. I'm inspired by the greats. I'm inspired by the greats here tonight. I'm as inspired by Daniel Day-Lewis, Marlon Brando, and Viola Davis as I am by Michael Jordan and Michael Phelps, and I want to be up there. So I'm deeply grateful to that. This doesn't signify that, but it's a little more fuel, it's a little more ammo to keep going. Thank you so much.
Yo,
Wow.
This guy, he is so New York.
The balls on this kid, huh?
Such a great speech, though. I love it.
Yeah, and
He's-
you don't get those a lot.
No, he's so New York. I'm waiting for him to be like, yo, forget about it.
Where was he born?
New York.
Was he?
Yeah, he's New York.
Really?
Forget about it.
Is he yeah. He grew up
Gabagool, your
there?
mother.
Yeah.
He is, right?
Yeah, New York City. You're
There
right.
you go. I like
We got
that
the
a
best
lot.
pizza. Oh! Cheese slice and a Coke. That's all you need. Forget about it.
I watched The Last Showgirl over the weekend, which was a big movie going in. A lot of people were saying it was
Who's in
snubbed.
that?
This is the Pamela Anderson movie.
Oh, okay.
Where she's sort of like an aged Vegas showgirl on a show that's closing down after like 40 years and stuff like this. And I know like people were talking about how she, got robbed because she didn't get the Academy Award nomination and everything else. I'm telling you, I didn't like the movie.
Wasn't good.
Wasn't good. Wasn't a good movie. I didn't like her in it either. I love Pamela Anderson, but there wasn't
Maybe
a lot
it wasn't just her movie.
Wasn't a lot of acting going on. I couldn't tell if I can't tell if somebody is just not a good actor or if they're playing the part of somebody who's not a good actor.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? Because it starts off with an audition where she's on stage, like auditioning for something. And I thought that she was Pamela Anderson, a good actor playing the part of a bad actor, like somebody who was a bad actor. But that wasn't the case because that's her just character throughout the whole thing.
Better than Barbed Wire?
The movie was just thin. Like there was no real story. Like I didn't get it. And some people loved it. This like the portrait of the people that keep Vegas nightlife alive and aging out of. I get all that. And she was great at that stuff. But there just wasn't much of a movie there, if you ask me. Shark Tank star Mark Cuban was asked if he would consider running for president in 2028. Because if you remember back in 2020, he said that he was like really, really flirting the idea.
Don't do it.
And back then, like they were polling him and everything, and they're polling him now. And as it is right now, Mark Cuban is sitting at 7% for the Democratic primary as a possible candidate. But he said, "Hell no, it's not going to happen." So
would he still be allowed to own the Dallas Mavericks?
Yeah, you just have to
president?
relinquish all your power and stuff like that.
Couldn't be sitting courtside no more.
No, you could still. I mean, you got a big job to do with running the country and stuff. But although he was flirting with it back in 2020 because he hated Trump so much, he says hell no to the possibility of running in 2028. So
Give it Timothy Chalamet. He wants greatness, right?
Well, he does. Greatness in leather pants. Did you see his leather pants last night?
Bro.
He had a full leather suit.
Yo, he killed it.
I know.
Right?
With a string tie and everything.
He killed it.
Yeah. Guys do that, though, when it's award show time season. Sometimes, like, you'll see this.
That's the only place they get away with it, though.
But they're so caught up in it, right? Where they start doing the award show run sort of dressed like their character, right? Like sort of like the string tie and stuff like that.
Oh, sure.
Right? Like
Bob
still
Dylan?
sort of a little bit Bob Dylan, but no, he had a great leather suit on last night. It looked hot, man.
I
don't
know.
know how you sit in a banquet hall in that.
Yeah.
But anyway.
What's up, Sean?
I was gonna say, who's the guy that played Elvis? He did that.
Yes,
thing.
where he showed up like he didn't. He was talking
Austin
like
Butler.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maury. Yes.
He was into it so much he couldn't even lose the accent.
He had to go to therapy.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Today marks the 3-year anniversary since Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Last week, we know Trump was talking to Putin and repeating a bunch of crazies. He started calling Zelensky a dictator, saying that he talked the U.S. into spending $350 billion on military aid. Zelensky yesterday, though, said this for the first time, that he would actually be willing to resign from his post in exchange for a peace deal in Ukraine or NATO membership, saying, if it's peace for Ukraine and you really want me to leave my post, I'm ready, saying that he has no plans to stay there for 20 years and wait this out. So he wants an immediate solution. Meanwhile, French President Emmanuel Macron meets with Trump today, followed by the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer later on this week. I have no idea what the solution is for this. All I know is that they just cannot keep going because they're running out of people. They're just running out of bodies. It's awful. The whole thing is terrible.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I'm going to read to you what may be the most in-depth telling information we've had about Rihanna's new album to date. So it's been how long now? 8-9 years?
9 years.
Kind of thing? 9 years.
Yep.
I don't believe anything that happens when it comes
So
to Rihanna's
I
new
don't
album.
know whether I'll read this to you and you tell me, because to me this doesn't sound like there is even an album.
No, it's not.
So So this is from an interview she did with Harper's Bazaar. It came out on Saturday. The first thing she did was debunked that the record was going to be a reggae record. She said, way off. There's no genre now. That's why I waited. Let me get into this. She says that every time that she approached her album, quote, I was like, no, it's not me. It's not right. It's not matching my growth. It's not matching my evolution. I can't do this. I can't stand by this. I can't perform this for a year on tour. After a while, I looked at it and I was like, this much time away from music needs to count for the next thing everyone hears. It has to count. It has to matter. I have to show them that show them the worth in the wait. She goes on to say, I cannot put up anything mediocre. After waiting 8 years, you might as well just wait some more. I've been in the studio the whole 8 years, but it didn't hit me. She goes on to say, I was searching for it. I went through phases of what I wanted to do. This kind of album, not that album. I know it's not going to be anything that anybody expects. She finishes by saying this, and it's not going to be commercial or radio digestible. It's going to be where my artistry deserves to be right now. I feel like I finally cracked it.
Even Shem looks confused right now.
All I hear is that album is coming.
Shut up, man.
What does that mean? It's not going to be commercial or radio digestible. It's going to be one of
like
these
an
things.
experimental thing, like jazz or something.
One of these things that nobody wants to listen to with no chorus.
Yeah.
And it's not fun.
No hook.
Not
up tempo. It'll just be a whatever.
No dancing.
No.
Anyway, that's what she's saying about her new album. So I don't know if that excites you.
No.
Or doesn't.
Yes.
No. Yes.
Yes.
Really, Shem?
Man, I just want to hear Rihanna sing, man.
Okay.
Listen, after she did that Black Panther song that was kind of mid, I'm ready for some new Rihanna,
right.
regardless of what it is.
Okay.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Another team in Toronto had to walk to Scotiabank Arena to play the Maple Leafs. This one was on Saturday. Carolina Hurricanes got stuck in traffic, and they had to get off the bus and walk through the snow on the unplowed sidewalks of this godforsaken city.
Oh, no.
In their nice shoes. You know, they always wear nice clothes when they show up to the game, right? They were all dressed up, suited. Yeah, exactly. And they had to walk through the snow. Because Utah, this happened to Utah back in November, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then if you remember, Niall Horan had to walk through traffic to get to his show at Scotiabank. It's a joke.
Yeah. What's
It's a
Olivia
joke.
Chow saying?
It's nothing.
Nothing?
No. When Utah had to do it, she blamed it on Santa.
But you blaming it on now?
I don't know.
Olivia Chow?
I don't know.
She's got to take responsibility for
I don't know, man. But
That's ridiculous.
You can't have somebody come into the city to do a show or play a game and they have to walk.
I know, to the venue where they have to go to work.
You just can't do
That's
that.
so,
It's crazy time.
In the famous words of Shem's mom.
So embarrassing.
It is. It's
Right, Mom.
embarrassing. This doesn't happen anywhere else. And it's happened 3 times.
I know.
And
it was
6 months.
And it was freezing on Saturday.
This place is way too cold. You need a jacket.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
A billboard popped up in Alberta, just north of Calgary, and it's on Highway 2, and a lot of people are like, there's a lot of backlash, and people are like, what in the hell is going on? Drivers are being distracted by it. So the billboard promotes a website called americafund.ca, and it shows a photo of Premier Danielle Smith with Donald Trump, and it reads, "Tell Danielle, let's join the USA." This is up near Bowden. And they reached out to the people behind americafund.ca to find out who paid for it, and their response was, our billboards are funded by regular Albertans who want what President Trump is offering Canada. Here is the mayor of Bowden, Alberta.
It has absolutely nothing to do with the town of Bowden. This is a private company that sold that signage. And actually, I looked at their website today, and on there it says fiercely and proudly Canadian. So I find it a little ironic.
Come on. You can't have that on your website.
No, not at
And it's a terrible looking billboard,
I
too.
know.
It's like, you know that meme where it's like, graphic design is my passion, right? And it's just literally the worst
really
graphic
is.
design
It's
stuff
like a
you've ever
child
seen
did
in
it.
your life. It's a terrible looking billboard. Terrible.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
The SAG Awards last night, the Screen Actors Guild Awards last night. I don't know what's going on with the red carpet. I didn't watch any of the red carpet stuff, but people had a real hard time with Lily Singh.
Really?
Yeah, nothing but criticism because I guess her interviews were like super awkward, and she did one with Jane Fonda that people just like couldn't understand. But here, I want to play a little bit. This is Lily Singh with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Let me paint you a picture. Late night on set, you're walking to Crafty. What are you grabbing from the craft table? These are the questions.
Oh, M&M's.
Okay, now here's a follow-up question.
Okay, peanut or regular. I know, but now they have all kinds.
There's too many.
I want you to get to Anna. I want you to.
Well,
I literally don't want you to talk to me anymore.
Have a great night.
God bless you, everyone. God bless you all.
Oh my God.
Yo,
shut her down.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Were they all like that, Maureen?
Oh my God. The Jane Fonda one was the most cringe thing I've ever seen. And then there's one that she did with Kieran Culkin.
Yeah.
Where he's throwing it back at her going, I was 7.
Oh, yeah. I just thought they were playing though, but she talks a lot. I don't know. Listen, those red carpets are tough. I get it. SAG Awards, one of my favorite carpets I ever did, but yeah, that's all. I don't know. I didn't see the red carpet special, but apparently there was just like awkward moment after awkward moment.
Damn.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
You know, I saw a picture of Millie Bobby Brown from the SAG Awards the other night about 100 times before I realized that it was Millie Bobby Brown.
What do you mean?
Didn't even know who that was. I saw a bunch of pictures with a bunch of other people, and I had no idea it was Millie Bobby Brown.
Just too much makeup, you think?
She looks so completely different, and I get that people grow up.
Yeah.
Right?
She's just turned 21, right?
Did you see the picture of her?
No.
Look it up right now. Millie Bobby Brown at the SAG Awards. I had no idea that was Millie Bobby Brown.
I think she presented too.
Yeah. I didn't watch the show though, right? Like I would have known, but just in like the pictures on the carpet and stuff, I had no idea that was Millie Bobby Brown.
She's matured just a lot, and she's like more blonde now.
Her face doesn't look the same.
Yeah.
She didn't have work done, did she?
No, I don't think so.
I think she had.
You think so?
Yeah.
Already?
Yeah.
At her age?
Yep.
Sorry, Millie Bobby Brown Jovi, right? Because she's
Yeah.
a married woman.
Millie Bobby Brown Jovi. Yeah.
That
anyway,
looks like her.
What's that?
I'm looking at these photos.
No,
I'm
it
like,
does
yeah,
not
of
look
course
like
that's
her.
Millie Bobby Brown.
No way. It took me 2 full days before
Were you
I
wearing your
realized.
glasses?
Bro, all day yesterday in here. I was just like going through pictures and stuff, and I had no idea it was Millie Bobby Brown.
To be honest, it took me a second to realize it was her too.
Yeah.
Were you
But
wearing your
she's-
glasses?
Yeah,
Doesn't look anything like her.
But I mean, still, like, I'm
Doesn't
not
look
that
anything like
blind.
her.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Roberta Flack, R.I.P. Roberta Flack, Grammy Award winner, legend, 88 years old. You know Roberta Flack from this.
Singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly.
Had no idea this was a Roberta Flack song.
Yeah.
I always thought it was Lauryn Hill along with the Fugees.
Oh, you didn't know there was an original?
My first introduction to that song was this. And I was like, wow, the Fugees wrote a great record.
Yeah.
Like, this is such
What
a
a
good song. This one is one of my favorite Fugees songs.
Yeah.
This is how I first heard it too.
The family says, we are heartbroken that the glorious Roberta Flack passed away this morning. She died peacefully surrounded by her family. Roberta broke boundaries and records. She was also a proud educator. Back in 2022, it was revealed that she'd been diagnosed with ALS, which is Lou Gehrig's disease. And she could no longer sing. And then back in 2016, she suffered a stroke and had retired from performing. Because, Mocha, you didn't know that this was an original, that it was actually Roberta Flack. Here is Roberta Flack in her own words.
Killing me softly with his song. I had gone out to California to do a special. Got on the plane and I opened the brochure that describes what music you can select. And there's a song, Killing Me Softly with his song. And I listened to it about 5 times before the plane landed. 2 weeks later, went on tour with Quincy Jones. And they wanted an encore, and Quincy said, "Bro, do something." I said, "Well, I have this new song I've been working on." So I started, strumming my pain with his fingers. After I finished, the audience would not stop screaming. And Quincy said, "Bro, don't sing that daggone song no more until you record it." That was it. Strumming my pain with his fingers.
And You got to listen to the great Quincy Jones, right?
Yeah. So was it hers or did she?
No, so the background of the song is that a 19-year-old girl named Lori who went to a Don McLean song and wrote a poem about her experience there on a napkin.
Right.
And then it got published. So it was and then sung by somebody else. And that's where Roberta was saying that she heard it on an airplane.
Oh, so it wasn't even her song.
No.
Jeez.
And it was all about going to a concert.
Wow. That's wild.
It's a great song.
But
Fugees did an
R.I.P.
amazing job. But yes, R.I.P. Roberta Flack.
R.I.P. Roberta Flack. Great hair, too. Just looking at all those old pictures of her. She's got wild hair. It's great.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Morgan Wallen has teased a new song. This is the first song he's ever written about his son. I guess this is like what dads do when they become fathers and you're famous and talented. You gotta write the first time dad song. Here it is.
Now and then that bottle's my kryptonite. Brings a man still down to his knees. Don't always know my wrong from right. Sometimes I'm my own worst enemy. No, I don't always set the day, but you know for you I'll always try. I do the best I can, but Superman's still just a man sometimes.
That's a nice song. That's beautiful.
I mean, he's wrong. Superman isn't just a man. Superman's Superman.
Bro, just like
enjoy the song.
Yeah, man. It's such a nice song, and the sentiment behind it is.
I know, but you can't say if they're all Superman is just a man. He's not.
No, but that's just saying like, not F Superman, but Superman got nothing on me as a dad.
That's not what he's saying.
What's he saying?
I think that what he's trying to say is that like in the eyes of a kid, he's like Superman.
Oh, there,
or he
perfect.
wants to be his everything, but Superman is just a man. But Superman isn't just a man. It's a terrible analogy.
Not really. He just is a man with a cape.
No, he's not. He's an alien.
Okay, so he's an alien.
Superman is not just a man.
Well, technically, he is a man.
He
so
is
therefore,
not a
he's
man.
just a man
He's
with
literally
some
not a man.
powers and a cape and
He's
an outfit.
not a man. Not a man.
Maybe he's not talking
alien.
about Superman. Maybe he's talking about a Superman.
No.
Like someone who's
After all, Superman is just a man.
Well, realistically, Superman is fake. So maybe that's the other thing. That like Superman is just like an image.
No, it's a terrible analogy to make. I don't like it at all. I think that
You want to send an email?
What's that?
Morgan Wallen?
No, I don't know. I
Should he change it to Batman?
No, Batman is
also
just a man. No, Batman is just a man.
They're all just
They're
men
not,
with capes and
Maria.
outfits pretending to be something.
Superman has powers.
Maria,
Batman
Batman
does
is not a man.
What is he?
Superman is not a man. He's an alien.
They're not aliens. They don't call him super alien.
He is an alien.
There's movies about aliens.
Okay, I can't have this conversation with somebody who knows absolutely nothing about Superman.
Well,
Roz is so mad right now.
I know, and it's actually hilarious.
You know what's funny is who in the room has a Superman outfit, a costume? Hands up. Mocha. Okay.
Also just a man in a costume.
Right. Mocha's a man in a costume. Mocha man. Right?
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
There hasn't been a huge amount of clinical research into the cleanliness of your headphones, like your AirPods.
In ears? Okay.
But according to
You gonna be
one
grossed out now?
investigation, a microbiologist swabbed several different headphones and sent the cultures in for testing, and the results showed two types of bacteria that can cause infection under the right circumstances. Similarly, according to another study that was done by a Florida ENT specialist, they found that headphones house 2,700 times more bacteria than the average cutting board and 6 times more bacteria than the kitchen sink. Bacteria isn't inherently a problem, but if your earbuds don't fit properly and you're always fiddling with them, you're at super high risk of, if you have any damage to the inside of your ear canal, it will 100% create the perfect condition for bacteria to thrive. And not only that, you start adding sweat.
Yeah.
And all the other things that happen with the body.
I wear in-ears when I work out.
When you do you, huh? Yeah. I mean, I think most people do, right? Right? So, yeah. So wash your headphones, wash your AirPods all the time with a swab, with like some alcohol or something.
Sure.
Because
I never do.
You
Like, I
see
never do.
sometimes. You ever seen somebody open up their AirPod case
Ew.
in
Oh.
public, and it looks like they just opened up a crypt?
Yeah.
Right.
That's so gross.
Like it's
Ew, I'm actually gonna throw up.
it's not
That's so
good,
gross.
right? It's not good.
Yeah.
And people, because you think it's a private thing, like you see it all the time, and nobody ever does anything, right? But it's only that one time when you open it and you look inside and it's just orange. Right?
So gross, bro.
Right? Like the whole case. I gotta check my case right
Hold
now.
on.
Oh no.
No, my case, clean,
Your case
bro.
is clean? Show me your case.
Clean.
Show me your
Look,
case.
Clean.
Oh wow.
Right? That
okay.
clean?
Yeah.
Right, watch. I'm gonna remove.
Yeah.
Looks
oh, yeah,
so
yeah,
clean.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Mine is an older case.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I haven't looked. I might embarrass myself right now.
It's gonna be gross.
Okay. Oh my god.
What do you guys
Ready?
think? You guys
Okay.
think it's gonna be gross?
Okay.
Yeah,
ready?
brown.
Ready?
Okay, go.
No, it looks clean.
How am I doing?
Good. Take the pods out now. Take the pods out.
No.
Anything crusty there?
No, nothing crusty.
No?
No.
On the other side?
No, nothing
No?
crusty.
Oh, okay, good.
No.
You're good.
There was a cat hair in there though.
Oh.
That's gross. It was probably in my ear and I put it in there afterwards. Anyway, so clean your ear pods, okay? Okay.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So Chris Pratt was on with Jimmy Kimmel, and I guess Chris Pratt just had a new kid. I didn't even know he had a new kid. Here's Chris Pratt talking about the new baby.
Congratulations. I know you have a new child since last I saw you. Thank you. How old is he?
Ford.
4 months old.
Ford is 3 months old. His name is Ford.
Oh,
but 3 months, I was saying, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
He didn't get my eyes, but he got my long butt crack.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's a genetic thing. And I'll tell you, most of it goes up. I don't know why.
How do you know it's long? Like, I have no idea if mine's long.
Oh, you'd know if it was long. That's
Wow.
one of those things you just know. You look around and you go, I think mine's a lot longer than that.
Is that a family trait?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
My dad had a long butt crack.
Did he?
Yep.
Now, when he says long, right? Like a long butt crack.
Yes.
Are we talking long, like it goes up,
High up the back.
high up the back?
How
Or is
high?
it like
Yeah.
down at the bottom?
Well, like what? Like to the like
Like, I don't know, like continue?
all the way? Like
Maybe not all the way, but
like
keep going further?
like he's got a tank crack?
Like further?
Further?
Under?
No, I
Yeah.
don't think it can go any further under.
But how much higher can a crack go?
Yeah.
Oh, it can go high.
Like to where? Like
Yeah.
to like where your lower back tattoo is?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It can go all the way there.
All the way up to your
Absolutely.
tailbone.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
There's no
For
way.
sure. Yeah.
All
Some
the way to
people
your
got
lower
long
back.
some people got long butt crack. They absolutely do. No joke. No joke. Here he is, Chris Pratt, talking about, because I guess what happened, it was that at the end of Guardians, they said Star-Lord will be back. Is that the deal?
Yes, they said Star-Lord will return.
Okay.
They never said the Guardians will return.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So here's Chris on that.
Will you be in the Avengers movie? I know you were across the street with the Russo brothers at their Hand and Footprints star ceremony.
Yeah, I was.
Is this something you can share with us? Will Star-Lord be a part of this?
At the end, for people who know the Marvel world, we did Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was the last time you saw Star-Lord, and there was a promise that Star-Lord would return.
The legendary Star-Lord
will return was the promise. And
Right.
so all I can say is we will make good on that promise.
But maybe not in this
I
movie?
feel like there's a Marvel sniper somewhere.
Yeah, there is. There are. There always are.
There always no. I can't say. I will say no more.
All right.
All right. So at some point, may
with
not be an Avengers Doomsday, but at some point.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
The liberal leadership debate, the French one, went down last night. I tried watching it, and I just couldn't, because
It was in French?
Well, no, but it's they was all speaking in French, and then when you watch it, they have the translators, right? And I just think that in a moment like that, especially when it's for a debate where you have translators, I think that they need to really kind of like showbiz it up and give the passion that the people on stage are talking about.
You mean the translators?
The translators, because the translators are so sleepy, right? They're so sleepy. So I'll play you a clip. This was Chrystia Freeland talking about, I don't know whether it was a true story or not, but talking about how she met a little girl who was afraid. But she was
Afraid of
like,
what?
just Trump. But she was like, you could tell she was like, when she's saying this and she's passionate, and then when the translators come in, it's like,
A few weeks ago in Saskatoon, I met a little 4-year-old girl. She asked me whether I could prevent Trump from invading our country.
First of all, that's a lie.
And that's why I am standing to lead the Liberal Party and to become the next Prime Minister.
Okay, right? So just like
and the
showbiz
translators
it up a
talking
bit.
Too quiet, too.
A few weeks ago in Saskatoon, I met a little 4-year-old girl. She asked me whether I could prevent Trump from invading our country. And that's why I am standing to lead the Liberal Party.
You need to yell. Speak louder.
The translators need to do something, right? Like I would be very interested if they hired somebody, right, like a voice actor, who it was one guy and he just did different voices for everybody who was on stage.
Oh, that would be very difficult to keep track of, though.
But no, you're a pro, you're a professional. I
guess.
Like if he did, like if it was a guy and he did like he did like that kind of voice,
yeah.
for right?
So for
I
a
would
woman, like a
watch
high-pitched
that.
voice?
Yeah.
And for a guy, like a deep...
Yeah, like another guy he gives like a cool accent to.
Bonjour, mes amis.
Like I would watch that debate. It was so sleepy when you have the translators. It's so sleepy.
Guys, I do not believe that story. You met a 4-year-old and a 4-year-old said, are you going to protect me from Trump?
No, it never. They do. This is what politicians do, right? They
Why?
They have to get in it. They have to start talking about stuff.
Oh, and start talking on the heart rate? Like, that's a flat-out lie.
Yeah, I met a 3-year-old. No, you didn't.
You're such a liar.
You didn't meet a 3-year-old in Saskatoon last week.
And that kid said, save me from Trump? One of this country's so messed up, bro.
So good.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I got to play this clip. So there's a guy, I've seen him on social media. He's a guy in New York, and he dresses up like Donald Trump, and he walks around just like trolling people, right? Mm-hmm. He does like a Donald Trump impersonation, and he found Alec Baldwin, like when Alec Baldwin was out in front of his apartment, and he starts trolling Alec Baldwin as Donald Trump because we know Baldwin played Donald Trump on SNL. But then he starts talking to Alec Baldwin about like the incident on set when he shot that.
Oh my God! When he killed the lady,
bro. And then Alec Baldwin goes off on this guy. This is one of the most uncomfortable, horrible exchanges between two people.
Alec, it's your favorite president. Look, Alec, I will offer you a total pardon because I want to be friends, right? I want to be friends. I will give you a total pardon for murdering that woman.
Oh, my God.
If you kiss the ring, Alec. Kiss the big, beautiful ring. Come on, Alec. Come on. Look at Alec Baldwin, right? He did that impersonation of me. It was not too hot, not too good. But look, we're back in office. You lost. Kamala lost. She's somewhere getting intoxicated. Well, Alec, if you don't want that pardon for murdering that woman in cold blood,
my God,
you can call it first degree, you can call it whatever you want, but it was not good. She's looking down on me right now, smiling, happy. Thank you for confronting the man who took me out, who killed me, and that's okay.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
No, you realize, by the way. No, look at me. I want you to look at me.
Sure.
You got a camera on me here?
The ring? No, it's the ring.
But you realize my kids live in this building, right? But I want you to know something.
We love the children. We're doing great deals for the children.
Just be real careful.
Okay.
If this camera wasn't here, I'd snap your in half and break your right out. You know that, don't you?
Okay. All right, Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin, ladies and gentlemen, class act. Believe me. Believe me.
I want you to get out of here.
Okay.
No. I want you to get out of here.
Oh, he's yelling at me. I'm a citizen of this. I was born and raised in New York City. I love you, Alec. Alec, look, you don't want to attack your favorite president, Alec. Look, I love you. I love you, Alec. He's got more balls than De Niro, that I can tell you. De Niro ran away. Alec confronted. That's good. He's strong, but also he's weak because he murdered a woman. So that's okay, right?
Oh my God, he kept going.
Is that not the worst thing ever that you've heard somebody do?
Listen, Alec Baldwin had some restraint, and I know he wanted to knock that guy out.
What a terrible, terrible person. Oh, my God.
All for clicks, too.
Yeah.
All for clicks.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Researchers study what happened when people agreed to block the internet from their smartphones for 2 weeks. So, no social media scrolling, no mobile app shopping, no streaming, no nothing. Your phone was a phone. What they found was 91% of people feel better after the break. They say what we found was that people had better mental health, better subjective well-being, and better sustained attention. The researchers included 467 participants, 18 to 74, who all agreed for a month-long study aiming at testing the theory that constant connection to everything at all times has unintended consequences. They say helping people to retain their brain and derive joy from healthy activities such as results in an antidepressant effect. They say if people see this improvement in joy in such a short period of time, then that gives us hope. Anybody willing to try that? 2 weeks. No internet on your phone. Anybody?
No.
Damn it, Maury? No. Mocha?
No.
No. Shem?
Yes.
You would.
Totally.
Interesting.
Listen, honestly, I could use it.
Yeah?
Totally.
Maria?
Yeah, I would.
You could or you would be willing? There's a difference between you could and
I think I could, but like, am I allowed to use my phone to call people?
Yeah, you use it just as a phone.
Just as a phone.
Does FaceTime include?
No
include it?
FaceTime.
Yeah, okay, I can still do it.
But does that just mean that you're just going to be on your computer the whole time?
No, I'll just call people if I need to talk.
So no internet,
Yeah.
no social media.
Yep.
For 2 weeks.
Yep.
I don't believe you.
What?
Not at
I
all.
think I could. I think I will. Not now. Is this like a choice?
No, all of a sudden she's nervous.
Yeah.
like we're gonna be like, okay, bet.
Yeah.
It starts today.
Yeah. See, and I know for certain that Maury, if Maury was like,
Can I do it during vacation?
No,
you can't. Because Maury, this is the thing: is that you would just cheat, like you would just
like you do now.
You would
on
just
vacation.
cheat on yourself.
Maury always says, "Oh, I'm unplugging for 2 weeks. My phone is in the drawer."
No,
I
that's
will say
true,
this
though.
though. I will say this though. Is that the last time Maury went? When did you guys go away the last time?
Christmas.
Maury actually, and I know this for a fact, did not bring his phone.
Uh-huh.
How do you know this?
Because I knew that I had to get a hold of Matthew if I needed you.
That's true.
Interesting.
Interesting. And how did you feel afterwards? Terrible.
Oh, yeah.
He missed out on so much.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Can I play you real quick this Chris Pratt
Yes, go ahead.
clip? So Chris Pratt on with Jimmy Kimmel last night, and I had no idea that he was like, I knew Chris Pratt was talented and funny,
Yeah.
but wait until he explodes with talent in this clip.
Well, I spent like 2 years in a van smoking weed, listening to Eminem when I was 18 to 20. Before I found Jesus, Jimmy, okay? And other kids learned, I guess, biology at college or,
That's what you learned.
I was learning
Did
how
you
to
ever
rap.
record your own rap songs?
I did.
You did? Oh, you did. Oh, you do. Can you just give us a little bit?
A little taste?
Yeah.
Right.
Here you go.
Listen, it's like I just smoked up to write again. It's the middle of the night again. Hey, I'ma set the session right again. Put the pen to paper and it gets me all excited. And I scribble, I dibble dabble in hip hop a little like a fiddler on the roof. It ain't a fiddle, it's a mic. And if I do it right, hey, probably gonna hurt a little. Jimmy Kittle, listen attention. 10 years sent to the outer dimension. My pension is paid and my rent is on time, right? But money made just take me to new levels of tension. And every last sentence a clue to the future, the pencil, the truth. And it crazy cranial brain retention by two with double identity. Please tell me when does he stop? And if he doesn't stop, so what do we...
Wow. Chris Pratt. Will the real Slim Shady please stand up? Damn.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
This is wild, man. You see that guy that fell through the hole in the Gardner?
Yeah, what happened?
So he was driving, I guess. I'll get the cop will explain in a second that we have the clip for. But in the middle section of the Gardner, they're doing all these renos on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they're replacing the road. And so, like, underneath is like lakeshore kind of thing.
Mm.
And so there's just, like, I drive by it every day. Sometimes you drive by, there's just giant holes. Like, there's just no road there on the upper level. And somehow, I don't know, the guy drove into the construction site and drove and fell through the hole.
Is he okay?
Yeah, he was fine. He was drunk, but he was fine.
Oh, damn.
What we've learned so far is this. We have a gray Honda that was traveling westbound through a closed-off construction area. It smashed through a construction gate and went through a large opening of the raised portion of the Fred Gardner Expressway here between Dufferin and Strawn. It traveled through a large hole, went through the hole, flipped upside down, and is at the location that we see it now. Thankfully, I can report, as I know right now, there are no serious injuries. It's an incredible drop, as you can see, from the raised portion of the Gardner Expressway. And this person is very fortunate, at least in that portion, of not having any injuries. I can also tell you that a male party in his 30s has been arrested for impaired driving.
Did he just use the full government to describe the Gardner?
Yeah, Fred.
Is that what it is, Maury? Is it called the Fred Gardner Expressway?
First time I learned that.
I
had no idea.
I just thought it was called the Gardner. I didn't know the Gardner had a first name.
The Freddie G? How are we not calling it,
It
that?
is the Frederick. It's the Frederick G. Gardner Expressway.
This is new information.
Yeah.
Goldwyn Gardner.
Frederick
What is it?
G.
What's the middle name, Maury?
Goldwyn.
Oh my God! Come on.
Enough traffic on the Goldwyn.
FGG?
So
Yeah,
good.
on the FGG.
So good. Here's a construction worker, Ricardo, who was supposed to be on
Pause.
site. Yes.
The Mount Pleasant Cemetery
Yeah.
refers to Frederick Gardner as his nickname,
Which is?
Big Daddy.
Enough traffic on the Big Daddy.
Come on.
How are we not?
How do we not do that?
Come on, the Big Daddy. Bruh.
I'm supposed to be on site working. I'm more than lucky because I should be here like 5 minutes. If I was here 5 minutes earlier, probably it would be worse right now. So I feel great.
Fell right through Big Daddy's hole.
Oh my God.
Riding the Big Daddy
Right?
sounds wild.
Yeah, man. Stuck on Big Daddy.
I've been sitting on the Big Daddy
Bro.
for an hour and a half. I ain't moving. So much happening on the Big.
Maury, that may have been the greatest piece of research you've ever done for this show.
I'm saving that.
Anyway, that's
Slow moving
crazy.
on the Big Daddy,
when,
but
they
I'm
found, when
okay.
they found the guy, he was just sitting by his car.
Wait,
Wait,
he got out of the car?
I mean, either he got out or he fell out. I don't know.
How do you fall out?
Well, the car was upside down, right? So he was just crawled out the window, I guess. He was just sitting by the car like he didn't run. Like he was just like, oh, man, I don't even know what the
Yeah,
hell.
like he was drunk. You're
gotta
not getting
be-
far anyway, bro.
You got to be hammered, bro. Like
Yeah.
hammered if that happens to you.
5:30?
Yeah, at 5:30. Thank you.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Conan O'Brien is hosting the Academy Awards on Sunday, and he was sitting down with Jimmy Kimmel, because Kimmel, long time, he's hosted a whole bunch of times, to get some tips on what to do.
You said, I will give you some tips, along with my wife, Molly, who has produced the show. And I said, yeah.
Dumb tips. Like, I would never be so, I would not give you tips on jokes or any of that stuff.
No.
I would never do anything like that.
No.
But I did have some, like, kind of old man tips, like try to sit down during the show. Which is one of my tips.
Jimmy is obsessed with sitting down as much as possible. And his tips kept going back to try and sit down. What are you, Franklin Roosevelt? I mean...
Does he have a stool for him beside stage?
To me, that's solid advice, right?
Yeah, your feet, your
solid
back,
advice.
your knees.
It's a long night. You're wearing rented shoes. It's not a good thing.
I don't know what kind of health condition Conan O'Brien has
Not a
either.
good thing.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Today is the 10th anniversary of The Dress.
The Dress?
Remember The Dress, the picture of The Dress? Is it blue and black or gold and something?
That's been 10 years.
Is it
White and gold.
black and purple? Right?
No, it's
blue
it's
and black.
Black and blue and
Yeah.
white and gold.
Black and blue or white and gold.
I
Yeah.
saw black and blue.
Yeah, you did, huh?
And forever will ever.
I did a colorblind test with Catherine on the couch the other night, right? Because I'm like
colorblind.
Yeah, I'm
Like
just
a dog.
like a dog. Yeah, like a dog. And so I was doing all these tests, and she's beside me, but she gets frustrated at me, right? Like it's not something I can control, right? So we're doing the test, and it's the circle, and then they put a number in it, and if you can see the number, right? So like I there's certain things I cannot see, right? So I click next, and I'm like, that's a circle of dots. And she's mad at me, like, how do you not see that that's a 4? And I'm like, I can't help that.
Yeah, I'm colorblind.
I'm colorblind. Like, I don't know what you want me to do,
no
right?
support.
And then I go to the next one. And I'm like, circle of dots. She's like, that's another 8. And I'm colorblind. And then so she starts looking because she wants to get me these glasses now, right? Because she thinks that the reason that we have so many disagreements about things is because I see the world differently than she does, right? And I'm like, I don't know, all the times we've argued about purple, right? Like, yeah, sure, maybe. So she wants to get me these glasses. She's like, I'm getting you these glasses. First of all, the colorblind glasses are so ugly, right? They're so ugly. The frames are hideous and the lenses look awful. They're also like $300.
I'm sure you could get them through your insurance.
But I'm fine, is what I'm trying to say.
Like this one with this guy.
I don't need them.
Like with the red tint?
Yes. Like I don't.
They're not bad.
I don't need
Some of these
them.
look like.
But then you could see life through a different lens.
I'm fine.
Literally.
I'm fine.
Are you
I don't
fine?
need-
'Cause
yes.
I feel
I
like
don't need
Like
any.
Oakleys.
No.
Or Ray-Ban. Look at these
no.
ones. They look like Ray-Bans.
I don't need them though. I'm
So
fine.
can you see any color?
Yes, I can see color. I see
Like
lots
what?
of colors. I just see things. I see things differently than you. That's all.
Well,
When it
that in
comes
real,
to
yeah.
when it comes to like reds and oranges and
what color is my
rust
shirt?
colors. Well, your shirt's black.
What am I wearing?
I don't know.
What am I?
I don't know.
I walked in there earlier. What do you mean you don't know what
That's
I'm
a
wearing?
memory thing. First of all, I'm not your boyfriend. Okay, don't ask me those questions.
We walked in here twice today.
Right?
When you were here.
Yeah.
And you didn't check out what color I was wearing?
No, I'm not your boyfriend.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
HBO's reboot series of Harry Potter has found its Dumbledore.
What?
So they're doing a new series on HBO. It's going to start filming this summer. It's described as a more in-depth adaptation of the 7-book series. More in-depth than the film franchise. So
Great.
the new Dumbledore is John Lithgow.
Oh, I love him.
John Lithgow follows in the footsteps of Richard Harris, who passed away in 2002 after he did the first 2 movies, and then Michael Gambon, who passed away in 2023. John Lithgow says, well, it comes as a total surprise to me. I just got the phone call up at Sundance Film Festival for yet another film, and it was not an easy decision because it's going to define me for the last chapter of my life, I'm afraid. But I'm very excited. Some wonderful people are turning their attention back to Harry Potter. That's why it's been such a hard decision. I'll be about 87 years old at the wrap party, but I've said yes. So John Lithgow
Yay.
is your new Dumbledore, which is kind of great.
That's so exciting.
I love that.
I like that a lot.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Who's going to replace Kathleen Kennedy at Lucasfilm? So she's announced that she is leaving at the end of the year. And
I know.
She's like the villain for Star Wars fans, right? She is everything that is wrong with Star Wars. But she was handpicked by George Lucas to take over Lucasfilm. And then when Disney bought Lucasfilm, they brought her over. So she was like George Lucas's pick. But now she's leaving. And the problem is that you have names like Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni.
I was going to say, Favreau is my only pick.
The problem is that it's not a creative job. It's a very sort of managerial job. They said that the Kathleen Kennedy role is like 10% creative. The rest is dealing with marketing and fans and corporate and deadlines and everything else. So it's going to be difficult. J.J. Abrams was another name they threw out there. But what they may wind up doing is what they did with James Gunn over at DC, which is they paired him up with an executive. So he could still he's still heading it, but he does way less of the nonsense corporate stuff, the business. And so he can focus on the sort of creative. So in that sense, what people are saying, they say Favreau and Filoni, they may sort of pair them up and ask them to sort of take on that as a partnership and then give them that executive that they need. Or somebody else, who knows? I don't know. But Star Wars is in.
Those 2 names make the most sense.
Did you see the new trailer for Andor?
Yes.
Yeah, did you like the trailer?
I love the trailer.
Yeah.
Because I gave up on Andor season 1 after episode 3.
So did I.
So I don't even know like how season 1 ended.
Yeah.
It was just boring.
I'm gonna go back
but
and watch it though.
I think I'm gonna do the same.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch it. No, we should. I mean,
Why not?
I saw the whole thing.
This is
I didn't
liar.
like it. No.
You're such a liar. Why don't we watch it together?
No, I saw it already.
Oh my God, dude! After
Nah, I
work
don't
every
wanna watch
day.
it. No,
I'll come
no.
over.
No, I don't have Disney
Nobody's at your
Plus.
house?
I don't have Disney Plus. I don't have
Well,
any of
log in
that
on my
stuff.
account.
No. My TV
Oh my
doesn't
God, we
work
can watch
that
it on
way.
my
No, Could you imagine me and you sitting?
Yeah, side by
Yeah,
side.
and then when your lap gets hot, we can put it on my lap.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Cute.
Aw.
It's so cute. That
I
sounds
get
like
I'll
plan.
get a stand. Would you use my tripod stand?
Oh yeah, perfect. That's how my brother watches TV. He got rid of his television, and he has like a tripod on wheels with his
What a nerd.
with his iPad on it.
Yeah.
Right. And so his iPad, there's an elbow on the stand, so my brother can lie back on the couch, stare up at the ceiling, and then he moves the elbow on the iPad, so it's right over his head, like he's staring at the ceiling, but his iPad is right there, and that's how he watches television when he wants to watch TV.
Nerd. Anyway.
Yeah, we could do that. Maybe we could borrow my brother's rig and we could lie on the couch.
I'd love that, bro. Couple of blankets.
Oh, I got good blankets too.
Yo.
I got really good blankets
Every day for the next for the next 8 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Working days.
That's a lot of time. I don't know if I could cuddle that long.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hey, I got to play you this. The new trailer for the new season of You, which drops April 24.
Can't wait. I haven't watched this trailer yet, but I'm very excited.
Love tests us. I've been tested more than most. This is the last time. I came from nothing. A true rags to riches story. I've been through it all. Unlucky in life and in love. Until I met you. Kate, you opened doors for me I could have never imagined. We share a life I would have been quick to judge in the past. Rich douchebags, aristocrats. We're using our power for the better to help those who aren't as lucky. Power, money once said, to see me rich. Who knew? I'd become the luckiest guy in New York.
Yes! I'm here for it.
Dun, 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 dun.
Also, look at Maria, so turned on by this guy's voice.
No.
Girl, why were you fanning yourself just now then?
Because I'm excited for the show.
Yeah, right. The look on your face as soon as he started talking was your tell.
Hey,
Right, this part right
Love
here.
tests us. I've been tested more than most.
Yeah, look at her face.
So gross. I'll tell you the one thing I do like about Penn Badgley, though. That's the guy, right? Is
Yeah.
that Joe? Penn Badgley? Is that he, especially for like a younger actor when he started this series and even the stuff he did before, is that he really leans into that chest hair line he has.
Uh-huh.
Right?
I think it's his signature.
I think so too.
What chest hairline?
He's got because his chest hairs tick up top, and he's got like that perfect line right across his collarbone, which that part is manicured, but it is a straight line. It's really rare to see like a young guy
Signature though. He has to.
Yeah, and he's
there's
always
no
like
way.
open shirts.
He could never shave, eh?
No, he could not ever. That's like his thing.
Yeah.
Especially in this show because it's all that everything he wears is like that harsh line of the chest hair, right?
What do you think, Maria?
I don't care about his chest hair.
Interesting.
I don't. I just like the show.
And his voice.
No.
This is the last time.
This
Look
is
on
the
her face.
last time.
Maria's sweating now.
And I'm not sweating. Anyone whispering into a microphone is gonna sound good.
Yeah, but he's a murderer, though.
I came from nothing.
Don't make me seem like I'm crazy. There's many people that No, I'm done.
Yeah, but you shouldn't, though. Right?
What? I don't find him attractive. He's a murderer.
Yeah,
Oh, now he's a murderer.
Yeah. We finally get to that part.
2 minutes ago, you're
Yeah.
fanning yourself.
No, I'm not.
Oh my God.
Oh, if any murderer talks into a microphone.
As in anyone.
Rags to riches story. I've been through it all. Unlucky in life.
Just don't tell me how many women you've killed.
Oh my goodness. I can't with you guys.
Let me see that chest hair.
No.
Millie Bobby Brown celebrating 1 year of marriage to Jake Bon Jovi.
Millie Bobby Brown Jovi?
Millie Bobby Brown Jovi. Yep. Here she is on what that year's been like.
Well, this spring marks 1 year since you got married. I mean, what has this last year meant to you, would you say?
I think it's just taught me how grateful you should be to enjoy connection and love and friendship. I have had such a joy being able to be married for a year already. It's felt like 2 seconds. I feel like it's blinked and it's all So I think just cherish and hold on to all the amazing moments you get to experience with your loved ones.
I heard you do.
Who's been married longer, you or Maury?
Me.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah? Maury, how long have you been married?
I think 8 years.
How long have you been married?
10.
Oh, really? 10 years? Okay, so
But I've been together. I've been with Matthew longer than.
How long have you been together with Matthew?
18 years.
18.
How many of those have been happy?
What time is it?
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Millie Bobby Brown celebrating 1 year of marriage to Jake Bon Jovi.
Millie Bobby Brown Jovi?
Millie Bobby Brown Jovi. Yep. Here she is on what that year's been like.
Well, this spring marks 1 year since you got married. I mean, what has this last year meant to you, would you say?
I think it's just taught me how grateful you should be to enjoy connection and love and friendship. I have had such a joy being able to be married for a year already. It's felt like 2 seconds. I feel like it's blinked and it's all So I think just cherish and hold on to all the amazing moments you get to experience with your loved ones.
I heard you do.
Who's been married longer, you or Maury?
Me.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah? Maury, how long have you been married?
I think 8 years.
How long have you been married?
10.
Oh, really? 10 years? Okay, so
But I've been together. I've been with Matthew longer than.
How long have you been together with Matthew?
18 years.
18.
How many of those have been happy?
What time is it?
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
The English liberal debate for the Liberal Party leader happened last night. So the night before was the French debate. Last night was the English debate. And it's weird to see a debate like this because it's not really a debate because they're all vying for the same job. Like they're all the same party, right? So normally when you see debates, it's people from different parties.
Sure.
Or they're at least trying to take each other down a little bit. But this was, everybody was just agreeing, right? Like somebody would throw something wild out there about the economy and they would go, well, I agree with you, but let's just do it in blue. Like their disagreements were so minor, right?
I like blue.
But Chrystia Freeland on Monday night during the French debate, if you remember, said this.
A few weeks ago in Saskatoon, I met a little 4-year-old girl. She asked me whether I could prevent Trump from invading our country. And that's why I am standing to lead the Liberal Party and to become the next Prime Minister.
Okay, so
you're such a liar.
First of all, that never happened. So one night later, during the English debate, here she is again.
A few weeks ago in Saskatoon, I met a 4-year-old girl
You're such a
named
liar.
Ari.
Yeah, okay.
She asked me, can you stop Trump from invading Canada?
She didn't.
Ari is a smart girl, and she's asking the right question. I'm running to be leader of the Liberal Party and the next Prime Minister of Canada because Trump is posing the gravest challenge our country has faced since the Second World War.
Here's what she's missing in all of this, right, is even telling that story, right? Whether let's say it's a made-up story, but even telling that made-up story, okay? Your reaction to that as a parent, as a grown person, if a 4-year-old walked up to you and said, hey, are you going to prevent Donald Trump or anybody from invading Canada? My immediate reaction would be, point out your awful parents to me right now. So I can go and rip an absolute strip off them for putting this in the head of a 4-year-old. Right? It's not a fun anecdote that you tell at a debate. Like your reaction as a parent and as a grown-up in that moment should not be to then say, let me take this to a debate to tell people how afraid people are. No, in that moment, if a 4-year-old actually said that to you, I'd be like, point your parents out to me right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Why do you know
Point
who
them
Donald
out
Trump is?
right now to me.
Yeah.
Right? That
Also,
should be.
I don't believe that story.
No, it's a made up story, but it's a terrible made up story.
Yeah.
Because you would never react like that, right? You would be horrified.
Yeah, I agree.
That somebody's parents filled their daughter or their kid's head, 4 years old, and sent them up to a politician to ask this.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
At that age, you should not know who Donald Trump is.
You shouldn't know if somebody's going to be invading and all of this stuff.
Concentrate on watching Coco Melon on Netflix.
Thank you.
Like, this is what you should be worried about.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I triggered a lot of parents there.
Yes.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Mocha,
Yeah.
question for you. A Colombian man has been arrested while boarding a flight from Cartagena to Amsterdam after police found cocaine stashed in his what, Mocha?
Pants.
In his what? Incorrect.
Oh, okay.
Stashed in his what?
Oh.
Stashed in his what?
Stomach.
No. In his what?
Like in his butt?
No, you perv. In his toupee.
Oh! I'm trying to give ideas right now.
The 40-year-old was taken into custody last week on suspicion of drug trafficking, manufacturing,
In
and
his
carrying narcotic substances. Authorities said that they found 19 packets of cocaine valued at $10,000 hidden under his wig. He was caught after being screened through the scanner.
Like, what, was it like taped to his scalp?
It was taped to the inside of the tube.
Oh,
and then he just put the tube on,
like a hat,
yeah,
or like a toque.
Yes.
Okay.
Metropolitan Police of Cartagena say that 450 people have been arrested so far this year for drug trafficking. It's still February.
Oh my god! Should have just swallowed those baggies, bro.
450 people so far this year at the airport for drug trafficking.
The cartel putting in that work.
Jeez. And you should see this tube, too.
Does it look bad?
Oh, it's awful.
So is that why they were like, wait a minute?
Yeah. Well, they put them through the screener, and then they were just
but
like,
still.
what is the gap between, sir, what is between your skull and hair?
I wonder what his answer was.
Who knows? I'm sure they all say the same thing.
Yeah.
Right?
I didn't know how it got there.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
They're going to kill my family. You
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? They all have their thing. Or they just say nothing.
Yeah.
Right? And then they just wait.
Go to jail.
Yeah, you just go to jail.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Millie Bobby Brown, as we were talking about the other day, turned up to the SAG Awards looking very different. Like, there was just something about her. Like, her hair was different. Her face looked a little different. And one of the ongoing rumors is that the transformation may have something to do with whether she is lobbying for or has already been in talks to star in the Britney Spears movie that is in the works. So apparently there's a Britney Spears movie in the works based off her book, The Woman in Me, and we know that Millie has said in the past that it would be an honor to play Britney Spears if they ever did a biopic. So here is Millie Bobby Brown.
Nothing would make me happier than being able to play such an iconic, beautiful person. She is an absolute icon. I would love nothing more than to be a part of her story.
Yeah.
But that's her story, and I am, in full support of her bringing her story to life.
How she wants to.
How she wants to, absolutely.
I
I
love
mean,
it.
I would not want that. I would want somebody bringing it to life in the most beautiful way. So I can, I would always be open to something like that.
I guess I could see her doing it. Like with her hair
Sure.
looking like this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
She could sing, she could dance, she could do the American accent.
Yeah. You didn't see a show?
No show?
No, not at all.
Or do you
Not
think
at
that
all.
to do a movie like this, like to do Britney, you would need a non-A-list celebrity, like a newbie?
No, I think an A-list celebrity could do it. I just can't see Millie Bobby Brown doing it.
What is it about Millie Bobby Brown that you can't see?
I guess for me,
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just curious.
I just see 11. That's all I see. I just see
really?
11.
Things.
I can't see her being Britney. You know who I could see doing it? It might be a little bit older. Is Margot Robbie.
Too old.
No way,
I think
man.
Margot
Also,
Robbie's
they don't
older than Britney.
No, I'm saying. I know that she's too old for it, but I can see her transforming herself in order to play it.
If you
I
look
really
at
can.
a young Britney, like if you just look at photos of a young Britney, it looks like Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
They kind of look similar.
Because I'm just so
Like, what
used
era are they going to
to-
concentrate on?
Well, they're going to have to start.
They got to start
young.
like you got to start at the beginning of her career, right? There's so much of that, and then they got to find somebody to play Justin Timberlake if they do that in the movie. That'd be great. right? But I'm just so used to seeing Britney now because there's more Britney available now, and you only see Britney from her social posts. Like for the past, I don't know, 6-7 years or whatever, when you see Britney Spears, it's not a Britney video or it's not anything she's done in the past. It's just her social stuff. And I have a hard time even remembering, like what Maury said, what Britney used to look like. She looked very different, right? Like she's obviously grown and everything, but even the way that she portrays herself on social, she looks very different. But I don't know. I'm sorry. I may be leaning with Shem where I don't know if Millie Bobby Brown is the best, but I wouldn't have said that about a lot of people who take on roles that they then just wind up crushing.
See, somebody just texted and said 925-555. It said Jennifer Lawrence. But I think Jennifer Lawrence, much like Margot Robbie,
too old. Way too old.
If you're telling the Britney story like in the beginning?
Yeah. Especially if they find like a 22-year-old to play Justin Timberlake. Like you can't do, no. You can't.
You know what? I'll play her.
Yeah, there you go. Too old.
Hey!
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Jelly Roll. We know that Jelly Roll, when he finishes tour, and it's a sort of a tradition of his, he takes a cell phone, he chucks it in the river. So he lives life without a cell phone when he's not on the road. And here's Jelly going through some of the details on what life is actually like without a phone.
Laptop. It's been cool. I got a laptop. I email like it's 1998. I'm just waiting on the dial-up modem. It's awesome, dude. No, it's so much cooler. And of course, I mean, this is probably too inside baseball, but I mean, I always have somebody around me. So it's not management assistant. Somebody is constantly, so the only place where I don't have a phone where people can get me if they need me is when I'm at home. And that's where I don't need to be got.
There you go.
Damn.
I'm sort of down with that idea, to be honest with you.
Would you ever do it?
I would be fine if I just had a computer. I would be, because I don't use the phone the way sort of
you never
other people
answer
do.
anyway.
I don't know if I could do it.
You don't know if you could at all?
I think I could do it for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
No phone. Anything longer than that, I think I'd have a really hard time.
Because if I'm at home, I'm on my computer way more than my phone. My phone will just sit in charge all day.
Yeah,
but I'll be
if you have
on
to,
my
like,
computer.
Call someone.
I don't ever have to call someone.
What if there's an emergency when you're out, like you've fallen and you can't get up?
Why do you think we gave him that necklace last year?
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Today is the first winter campaign / election day we've had in Ontario since 1981, and there's a reason they don't do this because election days in the winter are stupid.
Yeah.
This whole election is stupid.
Agreed.
And you can't get around. The stupid city still hasn't moved any of the snow, so the old people can't get out and vote. It's a whole schlamaz, this whole thing today.
Dude, I saw the funny.
It's a whole thing.
I hadn't seen this particular ad, but it popped up on YouTube yesterday, and it was I don't know, one of the other political parties going in on Mark Carney.
Yeah,
and they're calling
Mark Carney?
Yeah, and they're calling him Carbon Tax Carney.
Oh, yeah.
And the big tagline at the end is, he's just like Justin.
I mean, it's not wrong.
No, I know, but I just never seen that ad before.
Mark Carney. If Doug Ford wins re-election, it will be his third term as premier. And when asked if he would eventually seek a fourth term, Ford said that he wants to remain as premier longer than Hazel McCallion was mayor of Mississauga. She did 12. She did 12 elections. It's like the greatest. One of the greatest politicians of all time, Hazel McCallion. However, weather advisories are in effect this morning, and Environment Canada said snowfall. We knew this was coming for Toronto and Ottawa. Also, snowfall warnings up in Thunder Bay, where they're expected to get 15 to 25 centimeters today. Damn it, Maury was just out on the streets on Election Day.
Oh, hold on. I had something else I was going to play. You mentioned Doug Ford.
We can play it after.
Yeah, of course.
That's right, Roz. To confirm, it is snowing again here in the city. Can you believe this weather?
Well, yes, because I can actually feel it on my face. So, I mean...
Is it more wet than dry?
It is more wet. I'm carrying my bike, so maybe I didn't really predict the weather, but I'm an optimist. I'll try to ride through it somehow.
Is this the worst winter we've had in years?
Yes, it's been horrible. Like, my legs are still sore from walking through the sidewalks when people don't... shovel their snow.
The snowflakes that are on your face right now, wipe them off and describe the feeling.
That's what she said.
It reminds me of a warm blanket.
All right, happy winter.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
It sounds like you guys are about to make out at the end there.
Election day, on a day like today. What are you thinking?
Hold on.
You got some Doug Ford stuff over there?
Yeah, Maury's best friend, Doug Ford.
What do you got?
Because there's a point in time
I miss
where
Rob Ford. I really do.
I know.
This
so do
city,
I.
this city hasn't been cool since Rob Ford. It's the last time we were cool
Yeah. There's one moment in time
during that
where
whole thing.
Maury and Doug Ford were like best friends.
Oh,
because
God.
he used to call him like all the time
'cause
for
that-
statements and stuff.
Because
right?
that was Ford's whole thing, right? When he was a city councilor, the same thing with his brother was that if they returned phone calls, and he would just always give his cell phone number out to people.
Yeah.
And they knew Maury, and he would just always answer when Maury
Because guys
called.
like you are great guys, Maury.
no. Yeah, that's your man's right there.
Because guys like you are great guys, Maury.
Don't you remember? Don't you remember when Rob Ford was he was accused of driving on his phone, right?
Yeah.
And then didn't Maury call him to get a statement about that, and he answered on his phone in the car?
Hi, you've reached Rob Ford, the mayor of Toronto.
Oh,
I'm
no,
sorry,
I thought
I'm
I
unable
had
to come
it.
to the phone right now.
Don't you remember that?
Yeah.
And like Maury narked on him?
Yeah.
And then everybody ran with the story?
I know, but
Caught
I think,
again.
But I think Maury did it. Caught him twice.
Oh, that's right. He called him, and then they hung. He's I shouldn't be on the phone. And then Maury called him right back, and he answered again.
Oh, legend.
So anyway, get out there and vote if you can. And if you know any old people or people who need assistance, just go out there and help them as well. Okay?
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Man, what a crazy day. Crazy sad day. Michelle Trachtenberg passed away from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Gossip Girl. She was only 39 years old. No word yet on the actual cause of death, but sources say that she underwent a liver transplant within the past year and that there were all kinds of speculation that her body was rejecting it. And according to People magazine, people who know her, she told friends that she was struggling recently and she was really down emotionally before her death. There was a restaurant worker who talked to the Daily Mail saying that Trachtenberg was in there not that long ago and actually had a hard time getting in and out of the building because of the stairs. She could barely do the stairs. So 39 years old. She was awesome. She was so great on Buffy, like just a kid, right? And also Gene Hackman passed away. Legendary actor Gene Hackman, 95 years old. This is the interesting thing here that Gene Hackman, the body of Gene Hackman, who was 95, the body of his wife Betsy, who was only 63, and their dog were all found dead in their home yesterday. And so police say no foul play is suspected. So I can only think maybe it was a carbon monoxide thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because that happens, right?
Oh, that's so sad.
That's what happened to Weird Al Yankovic's parents. Remember Weird Al? So I don't know, but Gene Hackman, 95, his wife Betsy, 63, and their dog found dead in their home in New Mexico.
Awful.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
This week marks the, I think, what is this, like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, like 16 years or something like that, 13 years, of the iconic Pete Weber moment. Who is Pete Weber? Pete Weber is one of the greatest bowlers of all time. And Pete Weber secured in 2012 his 5th consecutive U.S. Open title, okay? And he lost his mind afterwards, and it gave us one of the greatest sports quotes of all time, which is, "Who do you think you are? I am." And this was part of his celebration.
Claim it. A strike to claim it. And he got it!
That's number 5. Are you kidding me? That's right. Who do you think you are? I am. Get it right.
Who do you think you are? I am, right? It's like, it's an insult that doesn't make sense. It's a victory cry that doesn't really make sense. But it was iconic. Who do you think you are? I am, right? So here is Pete Weber in his own words explaining what that means.
Well, being caught up in the moment of throwing the strike,
Is that what
being
he
as
sounds
excited as I was, I had a kid rooting against me during the match, and he was doing it just loud enough for me to hear. And it kind of made me mad. People know that don't make me mad on TV because I'll just get better. But what I really wanted to say was, who do you think you are rooting against me? I'm the man of this tournament. That's what I really wanted to say. But as everybody knows, who do you think you are? I am.
There's so much Pete Weber stuff if you ever want to go and take a look, like interviews with him and other bowlers before the match starts, where Pete Weber's literally like, listen, we hate each other. Let's just do this.
Oh, my
right?
God.
So
Wow.
here, I'll play this other clip. This is from another tournament with Pete Weber where he bowls and he leaves one pin standing and starts blaming the photographer.
Do not flash the camera in my approach. I'm telling you, don't do it. She flashes that camera again on my approach. I hear it. Don't do it again.
Yeah, my man's serious.
There's so much Pete Weber out there. It's really, really great.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
A possible, I guess, shouldn't say possible, a definite PR nightmare right now for Another Simple Favor. Another Simple Favor. Do you remember Simple Favor?
Nope.
Was Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick. Fun movie, right?
Okay.
But now they just dropped the trailer, and this is where they were talking about how Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick aren't going to be doing any press together because of all the Blake Lively stuff that's going on.
Oh, no.
And you watch the trailer for it because Blake Lively's character in the movie is a monster, right?
Oh, no.
And when you watch the trailer with everything that's going on with Blake Lively right now, so I'll play the very beginning of the trailer. You'll hear Anna Kendrick talking, and all you see is like Blake Lively with like her blonde hair flowing in slow motion walking towards her. Listen to the first couple lines.
I think about her all the time. The faceless blonde I thought I knew. Was she a glamorous PR executive? Or a cold-blooded killer?
And then it's just Blake Lively looking beautiful.
Oh, no. That's
right?
not a good look. Like, yo, pause on that movie.
Bro, it's so bad. Anyway.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Have you started watching The Pit yet?
The Pit?
Yeah. So
No.
the Pit is
What's that?
a medical drama, right? And the story behind The Pit was that ER years ago with Noah Wyle and George Clooney and Juliana Margulies, I believe, was on for like 15 seasons, right? Back in the 90s. Michael Crichton was the creator of ER, and he based ER around his time when he was a med student. And then ER went away. Michael Crichton had all the rights to ER.
Isn't Michael Crichton the guy that wrote Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Super famous author.
Okay.
So Michael Crichton and his estate had full control over ER, right?
Okay.
Noah Wyle and two producers went to Michael Crichton and his people to say, hey, listen, we want to do a reboot of ER, modernize it, but we want to do a reboot of ER. The estate said no. So what they did, and what Michael Crichton people said that they did, was they moved the show out of Chicago, moved it to Pittsburgh, and called it The Pit. So their thing was that this show, The Pit, is basically ER. They couldn't get the rights to do ER, so they just changed the name of it and changed the location, because the quote from the estate was, The Pit is ER. It's not like ER. It's not kind of ER. It's not sort of ER. It is ER, right? That was their statement at the time. I started watching The Pit. God damn, it's a good show.
Is it?
It's a good show.
Is it ER, though?
And I'm not, I never watched the ER because I'm not a fan of medical dramas. Okay. But The Pit is
Yo, but you used to love Grey's. Not long though.
Oh, that's like, I liked it because they porked each other in the break room. I didn't like it because the medical drama, right? But
if you like that kind of stuff, Chef can forward some videos.
I'm telling you though, The Pit is really good. It's really good. You would love it. I'll tell you why you'd love it.
Why?
Because they do it like 24.
Oh, I love that show.
Every episode is an hour of the same shift.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Pork Tart. You watch that show?
Never.
You've never seen it?
No.
I was very reluctant, bro.
I'm not really about porking
And you
in the
watch
pit.
no.
I was very reluctant.
And you watch every show.
I watch a lot of trash. I'm hooked on Paradise right now. That's
I know,
where,
but that's
my
a
bag
weekly.
is.
It's a weekly too, right?
That's true. That's
It's
true.
It's a weekly too. As
That's
long as it's a weekly, I'm fine, right? But I'm telling you, The Pit is a really good show. Like, and I've never really fallen for any of the kind of like medical dramas and stuff like that. But the cases they get, like the people that come into this ER on this show. Sorry, the people who come into The Pit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just got a text. 925-555.
Yeah.
The Pit, amazing show. Great watch. My husband never watched medical dramas, and he's hooked.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good. Like, it's a really, really, really good show. I mean, it's ER, right?
Yeah,
From everything I understand, it's the same guy. They just changed his name, everything else, right?
Okay.
But it's a good show, and I never thought I would get into it. But it's great.
I'll keep that in mind.
Thanks for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Catch the guys live
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10
on Kiss 92.5.
KISS925.com.
Or download the Kiss 92.5 app.